Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. Halfway through, we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. You seem to like it. So we spun it off into its own thing. We're at number 37.
Yep.
Every week. I'm getting older. How do you play along, Andrea?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday, I put a post out in the morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. We gather the questions. Once we have them all, we start the show and the post is deleted.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Stick around for details on how to enter a contest. Right now, your questions from Instagram.
Greetings from Southern California.
Nice.
Thanks so much for your fun and informative reviews. By the way, I love California. They have really helped me this past year as I've researched new cars and prepared to say goodbye to my 2012 Prius. I've never splurged on a car before, but I really like the Genesis GV60. What do you think of the rear-wheel drive trim that has just been released in the US? I like having the extra mileage, but do you think it's worth it to spend the extra just over $8,500 for the advanced all-wheel drive and the additional features?
I envy people that live in California, in Texas, in Florida, and the Carolinas. They get to buy cars that are just two-wheel drive. Oh, hell yeah. I'd get the GV60 with the rear-wheel drive.
Save yourself a few bucks.
You're going to have so much fun driving that because basically you've got a rear-wheel drive little sporty car. Oh yeah, you save the money.
So you are right. The all-wheel drive has more horsepower.
It's got lots
225
of-
for the rear-wheel drive and 314 horsepower. But it's electric. So there's just so much power. Also, you get more range. 294 miles of range versus 248 on the all-wheel drive model. What you're missing, you don't get the bigger wheels, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, leather upholstery. I think you could go without those, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Listen,
I do rear-wheel drive.
I do rear-wheel drive. Save the money.
For sure.
Especially if it's your first splurge.
Yes.
But then you might be in the splurge camp that goes,
But he wants the Bang & Olufsen.
if I'm going to splurge, I'm going to splurge. So
is
you
a
have to
sweet
decide.
stereo
We don't
system.
know your finances. But if it's just able to buy it, just get the rear-wheel drive.
Love your channel. You both noted that no car is perfect recently. Boy, you've got a good memory. If you had said no car is perfect, but the closest we've experienced is, how would that sentence have ended?
Well, there is a perfect car, Andrea. It's a 911 GT3 Touring. That is the perfect car. And Andrea drove a 911 GT3 for the very first time recently. Not the Touring, however, but that's a different sort of kettle of fish. I think what this person is saying, what's the perfect car? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. We have said, what have we said? If we could just take bits and pieces from each car to make the perfect car, we would absolutely love that. I think it really depends on different things, like three-row SUVs. Just give us a bench seat on all trims. These sorts of things.
All right. We get to drive 100 different vehicles a year, and we're sitting in our own personal car. Would you trade this car for something else? Because I think we have landed on the perfect car for us.
Yeah.
The only thing this is missing, it's got the older radio, smaller radio. Other than that, I wouldn't get rid of this car.
No, it works well. When I get into it, it feels like home. I absolutely love the way that it handles. It's tuned to perfection. I feel, you feel. It's a diesel. It gets great fuel economy.
It's amazing on the highway.
Diesel goes further, like over 1,000 kilometers for us. So we don't actually go to the gas station very often. So I think that you make compromises based on what is most important to you.
This would be the perfect car if it had wireless Android and Apple to make Andrea happy. I'm thinking of upgrading and getting a kit to put it in, but I think it might be worth it. And the thing is that, so we kind of landed on our perfect car. We love this car. And the thing is, whenever we drive a new car and then we get back in this car, I drive it and I'm like, what a great car. So I'm not sure how many people have that kind of satisfaction. We do.
And I would say the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max, when I got in that, there were some things I didn't like, but I was kind of like, wow, this is really good. Like sometimes you get in a vehicle and yes, it's not perfect, but it's just really good. Even the Genesis GV60 as a pure EV, the Cadillac Lyric, it's not perfect, but it's good.
Kind of like your husband.
Kind of like my husband, yeah. He'll just tell you that.
Oh, by the way,
you know how he is.
You know what's perfect? Winning the Toyo Tires contest. We have a link in the description below. I want you to enter it either in the United States or Canada. We're giving away a brand new set of Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires. One set for America, one set for Canada. So if you're in either country, you can enter. You go to the website, and if you're from the US, hit province. It will drop down and change to states. You'll find your state. Same for postal code. You click that. You just put your zip code in. It's just the way we describe it, north and south of the border. And the Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires, you leave on your car all year, and you can drive them in the winter. That's the beauty of this
Yeah, you
technology.
don't have to switch out your tires.
Yeah.
You know that. It's just so hassle-free. And we will be contacting the winner. Either we will or Toyo Tires will, but it will be through email. It will not be a comment on YouTube. There has been some spam lately saying that people have won. Ignore it. We have reported them, but they seem to keep coming
like
back.
whack-a-mole.
We're doing our best
The
here.
spam comments, you whack it, and then another one
comes up. It's
Do you know why
terrible.
it is, Andrea? It's because our channel is so popular with the people, and they know that people are reading the comments, so they want to put a post out there. But just fill out the form, and you could win.
I hate it when they do that. I hate it. Hello, love your channel. Thank you. I watch every week now, twice a week. Awesome. I just bought a Mercedes GLB 35 AMG.
What a car.
And was shocked to find out there's no heated steering wheel.
Oh, that is a shock.
We did mention that in our review. Do you know why Mercedes does not put a heated steering wheel on their AMG models? Is it because of the Alcantara?
That's what they told us.
Yeah.
I think that's BS, because other brands have been able to do it.
They have. Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche does it. So I don't know why, but Mercedes-Benz not available on that car. I mean,
No.
you can get it in the GLB, but
Yep.
not in the 35.
No, and it's too bad. I mean,
You know what?
I wish they had it.
You are going to be having so much fun in that car.
You're going to heat your hands
It's
up.
gonna. It is
actually.
such a great little pony. You're going to
Yeah.
ride it, and you're going to forget all about the cold hands.
Great, or just wear gloves. What are your thoughts about the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser hybrid engine?
So you want to know about the Land Cruiser, Andrea? Research department has looked it up. What's the engine again?
So it's an iForce Max hybrid, a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 48 horsepower electric motor, has an 8-speed automatic transmission with a combined 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Can tow 6,000 pounds.
Well, we've yet to drive it, and we will eventually, but I think that will be a pretty compelling package. So we have been impressed with the version that's available in vehicles like the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max. That has a 6-speed automatic. This will have an 8-speed. So we haven't driven it yet. It's also going to be in the Tacoma and so on.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to drive it, but I think it's pretty incredible.
I think some people are upset that it didn't get a V6 or a V8, right? They expected something more from the Land Cruiser than a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a hybrid powertrain. But like Zach said, our experience with the Hybrid Max has been very good. We haven't managed to get the fuel economy,
But
the EPA numbers, but everybody drives differently.
You got to remember that it's a replacement for something else.
Yes.
Like the versions before had V8s or V6s. So this is a Turbo 4 hybrid system. So you're going to have similar power, but better fuel economy than if it was one of those conventional powertrains.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love the channel. I'm currently looking at buying a VW Golf, but I don't like the capacitive buttons. We know
Neither
all
do we.
that. Do you know if the 2024 model in Canada will get the new steering wheel the Tiguan is getting? Also, why did you guys decide to buy a GTI over the R?
Okay, so I actually reached out to the head of product planning for Volkswagen Canada.
Yeah.
And I asked Patrick, and I said, when they showed the Atlas in the early videos,
Yes.
they showed it with the capacitive touch steering wheel.
Yeah.
But then when we drove it, it had the analog switches. And I said, please, God, if there is a God, can you do the same steering wheel for the 2024 GTI and Golf R? He said, God doesn't love you. You're not getting it. We're getting the good old swipey, stupid switches.
We are. We're just going to have to live with it. We don't like it either. GTI versus Golf R, you know what? Great price for the GTI. And also we already have all-wheel drive vehicles, so we were quite happy to go with the GTI. It's got enough power for us, for what we're using it for. We got the manual transmission, and it really is a great price point.
It's basically a little bomb around town car for us. This is our 4th car.
Yeah.
Like, we need another car.
We don't
Plus
need
we have
this.
we have all these press cars to drive.
Yeah.
So it's really just a little fun car for bombing around, running errands, doing that kind of stuff.
Having fun.
We don't need a Golf R for that.
And we just got lucky, actually. We didn't even know that after 2024 that Volkswagen is eliminating the manual transmission. We knew one day it would come. We didn't think it would be this soon. So we're just thrilled that we're getting a 2024 model, and it will be the last year with the manual transmission. So we're also hoping if we keep it for a longer period of time, maybe it'll go up in value.
The other thing is, nice little treat for Canadians versus the United States. If you get the top, in the US they call it the Autobahn trim. In Canada it's called the Performance trim. If you get that in the United States, it only comes with the power leather seats.
Yeah.
But in Canada only, they allow you to switch the seats for the plaid seats on the top trim. You give up the power option, but you get the plaid seats.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. I mean, there's a lot of tradition there with the plaid seats. I think that in a way I will miss the power driver seat.
We'll miss the power seat, yeah.
But it was an option we decided to go with based on possibly, once again,
Reselling it.
being worth more money
And
later on.
another nice thing, Andrea, that Canada gets and they don't get in the United States is the Palmetto Yellow, which is the color we ordered, not available on the manual transmission GTIs
2024.
for 2024 on the top trim.
Yeah.
So we've ordered a car with a unique color and unique seats for Canadian market.
Yep. Love your videos. Thank you. I recently got a Kona 2023 leased, and they're offering me to trade it in next year for another model to get lower payments. Do you think a 2024 Kona would be the best option, or another model like the Tucson?
Oh boy, I think the fact that they want your car, you probably don't do a lot of miles.
Yeah.
They want your car. If you can get lower payments in a newer car, just remember though, all that money you've paid into it, you're starting at zero again.
You are.
So just think about that.
But if you're thinking strictly about monthly payments and that's really going to help you in your everyday life, I think then that makes more sense.
And you're getting a bigger car. The Kona, the new Kona's bigger.
A lot bigger.
And the Tucson's even bigger.
But you could figure out the math, I guess, on the Tucson. Is there not much of a difference in monthly payments? If you need something that's even bigger than the Kona, sure, get the Tucson. I think this really comes down to budget and monthly payments. Yeah. Okay, we're running out of time, but this one is kind of fun, okay? So we'll just say it quickly. Love the show,
Always
but why
one
does
more.
Zach look so terrified when you accelerate? This is Zach.
I don't know if you
Holding
know
on.
that that YouTube, there's some showbiz that goes on. Turbo
Sport mode.
Ooh, easy, Drea. Slipping and sliding.
Wow, that feels fantastic.
That's what she said. It's just like,
I'm actually a really good driver. He just looks terrified.
it's also part of the shtick. So sometimes, okay, the one thing you can't see because the camera's facing this way, where we start our video, we're heading right for a corner.
He is scared.
And sometimes Andrea mats it, and I'm like, we're heading for a
We're
corner.
totally safe. He's being ridiculous.
Until we're not.
Okay, we're fine. We're absolutely
you
fine.
said that was the last question.
But he had a question.
Oh, okay.
I've ordered a new VW Crossport, but after watching every one of your episodes, should I wait for the new Lexus GX or the new Toyota Land Cruiser? Your decision, no pressure.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Well, they're totally different.
Yeah, so different. For me personally, I'd be waiting for the GX or the Land Cruiser because I just think they're the coolest.
I would go GX. I think the GX looks better than the Land Cruiser. Personally.
Either or. I don't think I would get the
So
Atlas
can we spend
Crossport.
anybody else's money? I love this, spending someone else's money.
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. I put a post out every Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Get your questions in. Once we have all of our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.